today we're going to be discussing one of my current projects which I'm working on, which is this RC car. So, unlike my June buggy, which you might have seen the video on, or if you don't, you can go and watch it, it has suspension. So, on this car, we're looking at leaf springs. So you can see this is how the leaf springs work. So we get a good suspension articulation, which is actually surprising. So we're just thinking, I didn't actually expect when I designed this, so we get such good articulation. So we get up and down and a massive amount of side to side, which is actually unusual. So we have a solid beam axle. This isn't very good, but I'm going to try and redesign this at some point. Going on to these wheels, which I'm going to set some sort of TPU, Ninja Flex, or some sort of filament like that for to go to the tyres. So this has got like two 45-degree angles on them. This is good for two reasons. It means the wheels aren't going to slip off sideways, well, the tyres aren't going to slip off sideways. But also because they're only 45 degrees, you can print without support, which is better if you're trying to print with flexible filament. So I'm going to be using for this again my Fly Sky 6, can't think what it's called, FSI 6 or something, whatever it's called. One of them, very good, but I've got the 10 channel version. So at the front we have independent sort of single wishbone suspension, and if they're using Lego Technic shock absorbers. But they get nice articulation in them, and obviously we get independent. But these aren't the wheels we're going to be using. We're going to be using more of these. But I still need to print the brakes, which they're not going to look like brake discs, but they're going to be the bit which holds on to the M3 nut and bolt on there. So at the moment we're going to be using for the drivetrain. We have this 2300 kV 16 by 20 pattern drone motor. So they're not particularly great, they're cheap. These one's only £5 on Amazon. I ordered 3 of them, so I'd already ordered the previous one which wasn't very good. These were very good. Yeah, I'll probably put the link to them on below in the description. So in the final version of this, when it's all working, I'm planning on using a 2-speed gearbox I designed, which you can see on Thingiverse. That uses a 1/3 gear reduction and a 1/1 gear reduction. So at the moment it's just running the 1/3 gear reduction. So it's basically taking out the gearbox. Because obviously when I'm testing this at the moment, as a chassis, I want to know it's all going to work. So without having to get the worry of the gearbox not working or gearbox jamming every 5 seconds, I decided to skip that for the moment, use the same bolt mounters on it, or the same bolts on there, so it's a bit simpler. So the chassis is all PLA, printed on my Anate 8 with only standard modifications. You can see that in the Peach Triple hovercraft propeller print video. So for the drivetrain, I decided to use obviously universal joints needed instead of having like I can't think what it's any sort of different drivetrain. So we're using constant velocity joints, not universal joints. And then here's the extender here, so you can if I push it out, see that's the extender, which if I move these, see it gives us the movement. So obviously the actual length of the drive shaft has to vary when the suspension moves. So that's what gives you that movement. So it's not a square, it's actually a rectangle. So it only goes in 2 ways. Put that back on, which is quite simple. So this is all assembled just using 3mm M3 bolts, and they were varying lengths. I just bought them off Amazon. They were £9 I think for like 100 or 200 or something. So yeah, I think it's all PLA. I think it's about 25 to 30% depending on like the strength required. Like I think this is like 30% and whatever. This is printed with actually quite a little amount of support because these are 45 degrees again. So this is the only bit which requires support, which did fall off I think while printing. And it's quite a complicated understructure. So this bit bolts on here, then this bit is connected all around here. That's where the body shell will go, because I would probably put a picture on at the end of what it was planned to look like at the end. So this is where all the body mounts is, like where the bonnet's going to go, and that's the door mounts and all that sort of stuff. This is the boot and stuff. So I think this is 1/8 scale. So I've been so it's taken quite a long time to print at the moment. I'm using this quite cheap drone ESC and T-plug connector. But at the moment, yeah, it's running. It runs okay. Obviously, I decided I need to make these a bit longer so I can get the bolts on. One of them is. This uses a gears for this, which I actually found on Thingiverse, which is nice to put them on. They were actually perfect for what I wanted, but they were scaled down slightly. So this is all designed on SolidWorks, except for these, obviously the Lego. Yeah, and that's it. I'm just saying, for the steering, we're using ball joints mounted onto a little cheap 9 gram servo in there. Just a little SG90. Yeah, this is a project we'll be seeing more of this project in the future. Hopefully, if I get it finished. But I'm also going to work on my SUV project and my plan for the hydrogen powered 3D printed engine, which I'm going to try and make out of metal at some point. But yeah, for this video, that's pretty much all we need to talk about.